Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, joined by Lauren Pansy-Scott for tonight's show, and we've got a good one to start things off. You've already highlighted some pretty interesting numbers surrounding Dignitas versus Navi, especially on Inferno. I wouldn't mind reiterating them for any new viewers and as blah, 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 before we do head into the game.
Yeah, so basically what I was pointing out recently in the last 3 months, Dignitas have had a fairly decent record on this map. This does include online matches. It's not just, the highest tier of caliber. Let's, remind ourselves of that. But still, it's 11-3 record in the last 3 months for them on this map. So that's actually a pretty damn good record. In comparison to Navi, who's only got a 2-8 record. But then again, if you want to take into account who they're opposing, where these matches are, you could maybe find these stats, maybe not as specific as mentioned. But still, it's something to note that obviously Dignitas have played this a lot more recently. And they picked up some very good victories on it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring here. Looking to see Schneider on this map. I remember back in the days, this was one of my favorites of him playing. I'm curious if he even still plays in a similar fashion to it. Probably not, but looking forward to that one. Yeah,
and of course on the other side of things, you do have Navi with Starix sitting in that coaching role. I was just like, hang on a second, there's 6 members and they all look familiar. It was of course Starix that was throwing me off, so seeing him watch from afar of the new Navi boys. I mean, Flamey, who was of course the new addition, is always someone that I throw into my with my picks when I can, just because he's a player that always seems to have this kind of do or die aspect to him. The amount of times he's been put in situations like, if he doesn't do this now, you're out, and Flamey just does these nutty clutches, crazy supportive player as well. Yeah. So he's a bit of like the kind of best of both. He can be a support role, but he also can kind of go off on his own.
But the one thing is, I think there's going to be a lot put towards a player like that, especially when you take into account players like Guardian won't exactly have the room to kind of go off on the tear that we know he can do. This map doesn't always allow for it. Sure, CT side maybe a little more, but T side, you very rarely see an AWP having that much impact. So I'm looking to see if Guardian can find a little bit of that here. If he can, then maybe we'll see a little bit more from Navi, but still, I believe we're ready for the knife, so we can start looking towards that.
All right, then, let's hop on into the game. It's going to be Inferno, the battleground for Dignitas up against Navi, as they are going to be knifing for side. Just as you already highlighted, the importance of this is potentially for those AWPers. We know very few AWPers tend to kind of choose to pick up their AWP on the T side as confidently as on other maps, and I think one of the exceptions to that is definitely going to be Alu. I've always seen him be one of those T-sided Inferno AWPers. And he has already and continued to do so. It's interesting if you can kind of take some time and look at what he does so differently, or what it is that makes him so comfortable on it. Something that would be worth having a look on. But either way, we are going to be going into the first round. We are going to be seeing Navi on the CT side and Dignitas taking the T.
Indeed we are, and I'm going to be just keeping eyes on Dignitas here. They used to be renowned for their pistol strength, to be fair statistically, so I'm hoping we can see a little bit more of that, but only MSL already picking up the utility here. Everyone else going in for that Glock train or so, it seems, and it looks like they will be keeping eyes maybe towards A, but it's very early in the day, and a good little flash to come through as Edward might just get some information there.
I thought he was going to get a little more. I think maybe he heard enough footsteps to kind of gather the intel safely, but all the same, he is going to be backing away. You have Zeus and Edward over on A. 3 players rather pushed up, actually locked up by the smoke, but they are going to be basically holding quite aggressively over towards Banana. Dignitas, that doesn't affect them one bit. They're not interested in some potassium right now because they're all coming on in towards A. Here comes the wave. Edward gets taken down by a joint effort of Pimp and Kiebi. And the second one's going to come in from MSL. So already the bodies are dropping. The bomb is 2. And Navi have got to try and fight their way back into the site. Those 3 players at B have got some legwork to do.
Yeah, they certainly do. And AZ set up well for this. They're all watching these crossfires. But Guardian's going to find a cheeky little way and follows up perfectly. That's Pimp down. Now, 2v3 though, Schneider bringing it back in favor to Dignitas. Gonna have to push it together. Time's still ticking. There's an option here. They both got armor. They can make this happen. Guardian not gonna go down without a fight. 1v2 now. Bomb is a little ahead and they should be able to close him down. And they do. But a nice little 3K for him. But MSL responding accordingly and a really nice take towards A.
Nice from Dignitas. I thought maybe things were going to start slipping away when you have a player like Guardian who just went crazy. 3 very, very nice frags. Catching that player over towards the stairs, though, as well, was, towards Boiler. That caught me off guard. I'm sure it caught AZ off guard as well, going down so quickly in such a potentially unexpected position. Either way, though, back into our second. It does look like Navi are not going to be going down without a fight, though. We actually have a FAMAS in the hands of Flamey and armor where they can get it.
Yeah, this time only 1 player present towards B, putting Flamey there just on his own, pretty much with that FAMAS, with the armor and a smoke, just so he can has a little bit of time to be bought. So it will slow down the T side. They won't be able to just rush it out. But look at the amount of rifles they've invested into. Only that UMP there with AZ, so everyone else pretty much upgrading.
You say only. Look how much damage he did to Flamey, down to 5. Surely going to be getting rid of that FAMAS, and he does, throws it into the hands of Seized. He's actually got a very good eye line through that smoke just to catch the legs of AZ.
Seized Just using that smoke well. But while all this happens, you can see they are starting to make their way towards ZA side. Edward going to be meeting them by quad, but his Guardians have to do the work, and I don't think he's going to... Oh, Telelai, I didn't think he was going to have much of a shot then, but MSL was on the receiving end of that dink, and Guardian now surrounded. 4 players pouring in. Stunning shot towards Kiebi, but regardless gets put to bed as C's now. He started out with the Famous being dropped over to him. Let's see if he can put it to some sort of work.
Let's not go doubting Guardian with a pistol, it seems. 2 rounds in, he's already sent a message. First with the P2K, now with the P250. And now seized. He's actually got a pretty good shot at this one. I say that Schneider snatches it away with a nice quick headshot into C's, and that's going to be the second then for Dignitas. Navi investing into that one, and Dignitas are going to know that as they're going to be opting most likely for some SMGs, I would expect, to shred through that. We are going to be seeing some MAC-10s picked up, going gangster style to try and get a little bit of extra cash in their pocket against the unarmored Navi.
Yeah. And to be fair, Guardian's been doing some real work with that P250 any pistol, but I think this one might be a little bit too far ahead, and we are seeing the all-out stack towards B. I wouldn't be surprised to see some aggression coming through on Banana, and then just see if these guys can just clean up off the back of it. MSL's going to be just charging away. This could be a lot of money or a lot of trouble, and that's a perfect flash, but he finds nothing.
That's the power of Flashbang, folks. Fortunately, Pimp and AZ are going to be doing all the work. Pimp with 3, AZ takes 2. And Na'Vi get dissolved over on B. That's going to be the third then for Dignitas. And actually quite a nice work with the kind of rifle and SMG combo, getting a little bit of extra cash, but not taking too much of a risk up against that stack. Now, going into that fourth, we're going to be seeing the kind of survival rate of Dignitas. Na'Vi making a good dent, both in that pistol and that second round. And now we're going to be interesting to see where they choose to receive the T side.
Look how many mollies there are already with Dignitas as well. They've got so many building up here. 3 already. 1 AZ, 1 Schneider, and 1 towards Kiebi. But they're looking like a fast play coming through here. And this could be dangerous if Zeus does turn in time. 3 players by quad here. He's in the perfect spot. Gets 1, gets his 2nd, gets his 3rd. And this buy-up, this big play from Dignitas might have just got ruined.
There is a loophole, a very big loophole, and it's going to be Zeus who completely exploits it. Just through Boiler. 3 players with their backs turned to him, and he gets all 3. There was, in fact, a 4th that managed to back away. It was AZ. He's going to try and pick up where his team struggled to lift off. They are both coming towards from Library. AZ is ready. 1 player in Moto now. As Kiebi just going to be biding time. AZ is going to find 1, but Flamey quickly puts him back in his place. They know where that last player is. Flamey with his rather sexy M4 is on the hunt for the bomb. He is going to find it in the nick of time, but that's a perfect molly. Just needs to stay alive. Oh, and now Flamey is most definitely against the flames as he backs away. The molly does secure it, and we are going to be seeing the round go the way of Dignitas, but by God was that close.
Yeah, that was very close. But the molly came out. It was.
But he was so exposed
close.
Pulling that molly out. If there was just a little bit of a quicker look towards that balcony area, we could have seen the round go Navi's way. Of course, there was a...
Thanks to Zeus, mostly, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
No one checking Boiler that early on. You can see it right now. Literally, no one even gave a second thought to this. The player up in apps just kept going. I think it was Kiebi just kind of moseying through, which is fine. But still, that got very dangerous. You can see the buy-up now. A little bit of armor, 5.7, nothing much to work with. And we are going to see the late smoke coming down towards B just to maybe assist Flamey a little here and see what he can achieve.
Okay, the bomb's loose for Dignitas, and that's going to be suggesting that they're not going to be going for anything as quick as they did once just with the round prior. Keeping things slow and just trying to gather some information, some intel. Cautious that anything kind of crazy, a curveball could be thrown out by Navi, well aware of their economy, but AZ throws one of his own, catches Flamey through the smoke, and sees he's going to be backing away on a rifle retrieval mission, and he does find success. As Dignitas banging some pans and making noise. AZ a second, narrowly through smoke just as it plumed, and now you are going to be seeing Dignitas well aware of the 2 frags, make it 3 that have already occurred, starting to forge a push straight towards it. It's only been Zeus who stands in their way again, this time not going to find 3, just the 1 with the 5.7, and it's going to be a very scared Seized with Kevlar and an M4 to his name.
Yeah, so far, Dignitas are looking absolutely formidable. They've dealt really well with Na'Vi, so I'm excited to see this. This is what I kind of expected to come out on this map from them, but bearing in mind, Dignitas are in 5th place thus far in the league, Na'Vi up in 3rd. This could be a really big result for Dignitas, but let's see how well they can keep this T-side building, because so far there's been a couple of loopholes, but it doesn't seem to matter at the moment. The close could come out from C's here towards MSL, but by no means should he be able to find Schneider and AZ, but he's certainly making it pricey. That's AZ down, but the time is just too much against him. There's nothing he can do here, but 4 HP. He's gonna just about tag up Schneider down to 4 HP there, but in the end, the round goes to Dignitas. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day how close these rounds are, Dig is still closing them. So as you can see, it's been fairly close, but still, 5-0 on the board.
It is good to keep their foot on their economy, though. Dignitas could have start, snowballing out of control, but fortunately, C's taking 3 very important frags, taking the rifles and the armor away from them, forcing that rebind. You can see already that they have kind of managed to keep it under control to an extent. No AWP to be seen on the side of Dignitas. Guardian, though, has other plans. He's going for a fast peek towards Banana. I say fast, actually looks to hit the brakes somewhat, as that flash is going to deter him. And MSL is going to be potentially on the receiving end. That's a nice angle. Held by Guardian, finds the chest of MSL. And the molly in response is going to do nothing but deter him just for a second. As Dignitas in the meantime, they are forging a push on towards A. 3 of them already on there. Edward and Zeus. Can Zeus do it again? That's a very foolish flash. Catches his teammate, but fortunately, Edward can take the initial frag. And why are they not checking that? Were they not aware? Are you bonkers? He gets the frag onto Kirby. The bomb goes down, but it's just Pimp. And miscommunication is the word.
Yeah, most certainly, but Pim doesn't really give too much of a care at the moment. He's doing wonderfully, but he's down to 6 HP. He's still got utility to work with, just not time to put it into place. He tries to take the shot on Flamey, but the defuse will come in. And it just looks like Dignitas have these kind of like set strats almost, right? So that they've done the kind of theory crafting, but then when it comes into, the loopholes, the kind of downfalls to it, that's where the issues seem to arise.
3 times now we've seen them push into a site, primarily, in fact, it's always been the A site, and they're just not checking rather predictable corners. Boiler in the first instance,
to be fair,
Balcony in the second.
I think just the Na'Vi stack by Balcony then kind of caught them out. That random flash, I don't think was actually meant to land there.
It was Edward's flash, right?
Yeah, so I think once they killed Edward, they were like, oh, that's just it. It was just, how it is, but clearly not the case, and it almost cost them a very big round there, but a stack towards Banana early on could do some damage here. Flamey actually pushing up quite far.
Look what he's got to say. Zeus and Flamey finding them. And that's going to be Dignitas chopped down to 3 very early on in this round. They took rifles to it, just Kirby, who's gone a little under geared, and here they come again, very reminiscent of their previous rounds, and this time Edward greets them with the FAMAS. Does get taken down, but it's nothing in comparison to what Guardian is capable of. 2 quick frags, and we are going to be seeing another Na'Vi round. 2 in a row now for Natus Vincere, and that was a very clean and cut one.
Yeah, and Dig just playing super fast. I kind of want them to slow down a bit, maybe just kind of get some of that utility away from Na'Vi, because we've seen how much power those flashes have had recently. Of course, looking at the money, it's not going to be this round for Dignitas, but still, I want to see a little bit more from that. AZ's been playing beautifully, just getting those opening shots and closing down a lot of these rounds, but still, Na'Vi starting to get themselves into this, and this should be a comfy one for Guardian, as he does connect there towards Schneider.
Yeah, of course, he had a little bit more comfort knowing that there weren't going to be rifles in their hands, enabled him to go for that aggressive peek. Not expecting any crazy P250 across the map shot. Sees is going to follow suit as well as he gets the bomb loose, and that's right outside the smoke. That is the worst case scenario, but fortunately AZ times it beautifully and gracefully dances back into the smoke to short-lived safety. And the bodies are going to keep piling up. Then it's just a question of if they could get a frag, but I think that's going to be a resounding no. It's going to be Zeus who does end it for us, and that's going to be the 3rd then for Na'Vi.
Yeah, and Na'Vi keeping hold of a great deal of their utility as well. You can see that bank just really starting to build up, keeping even mollies from that last round, not really needing to use them. You saw how much just that smoke helped them out on Banana then. It was super, super, super good. But anyway, on the other side of things, let's see what Dig have in store this round. I kind of hope they slow down a little. They've been kind of just powering through. I want to see them kind of using those mollies a little more, but at the moment, they're still leading on their T side. 5-3 is not a bad scoreline. I just want to see where they can take it from now on, and if Guardian keeps getting kind of aggressive here, if he keeps going for these peaks, I'll be very curious, but no, that molly put down early, denying him that pick, and MSL could be on the receiving end. Already, Kirby's going to find Edward.
Yeah, and Guardian is going to be forced away from that smoke, so Dignitas implementing nades well, but how well is Zeus causing a threat towards Apps? Kirby down, but fortunately Schneider is there to get the rebuttal, and here they go, seized, and Schneider then back and forth we go, in 3v2 now, with the bomb going in safely up against that presence from Seized. How long can he live? Not long, as MSL takes him out of the equation, now all onto Flamey, the last man to rotate from B. And he's got a rather scary situation on his hands. 3 Ts locking themselves into that A site when the bomb ticking away as well. Gonna be just perusing, seeing if he can find just one or even a second head. Doesn't look like anything's going to be given to him. They did line up, though. Unfortunately, Pimp does get the trade, so that's all you need in order to acquire a much-needed round for Dignitas. They were starting to see Na'Vi get a little bit of a pace behind them, a little wind to their sails, but fortunately, Dignitas, or rather Pimp, manages to secure that round for his team. Looking at the scoreboard as well, AZ sitting about 9 frags. We do have Schneider on 8 as well. And just at the bottom of the scoreboard, Kirby has been encountering some problems with Zeus over towards Apps.
Yeah, and it just looks like Dig have been just kind of completely focusing towards quad the vast majority of the time, just trying to get their push through there, and then kind of splitting up with splitting up with Apps as well. And this time, A lot more utility coming out from Na'Vi. Going to get the presence here on that map. Trying to push down Banana a little bit. Those deep smokes going through, allowing Flamey and Seized a touch more pressure.
Oh
now AZ is going to find out, but Seized completely flashed up, allowing AZ through. That's 2 back-to-back. That's the impression this man can make. And now B is all Dignitas. Look at this. Schneider's straight through the smoke.
Yeah,
This should be a clean round.
Na'Vi just rolled down the red carpet and welcomed them into that B site straight up. I mean, Seized and Flamey pushed up aggressive. When you push that aggressively, you expect there to be some sort of support framework there, you know, a smoke, a flash, something in order to kind of acquire early dominance, and nothing really there from Na'Vi, in which case it really did throw that round away. You said it's going to be almost a guaranteed round, and look at that. They're just hitting the brakes. They're like, okay, let's just keep these rifles, and I don't even know if MSL and Schneider are going to let them.
No, I really like the way that already Pimp and Kirby are working through T-Apps as well, so they've kind of cleared that. So now they can actually, fairly methodically at least, clear through here. But Guardian might be able to catch out Schneider.
You'd expect.
And I doubt Edward will let MSL... Oh, maybe not. Okay, so Guardian's now in a little bit of trouble. There you go. So we'll find
so
Schneider.
Cheeky. He's got the confidence, not even kind of worried about a balcony push. He's just there to take as much as he can away from Dignitas.
To be fair, Zeus was up there, so he had some form of backup then. So I guess, you know, that's why he was confident. But still, 3-7. Na'Vi's starting to find a little bit of, you know, money to be put back into this round, hoping they can start catching up with Dignitas, because Dignitas is playing super aggressive and they're getting the opening pick, so why not? AZ's been kind of providing those time and time again. And now we're going to see that 3-man stack over towards B. Guardian, Seized, and Flamey both here. Pimp's going to be looking for that opener. Wait and see if Guardian fancies those chances again. Kirby, Schneider working through that app side, and Pimp's going to connect it, kind of predicting what's been going on so far, but will they work off the back? Bearing in mind, there was a 3-man stack here.
Yeah, and opting for that T-side AWP as well. Let's see if Flamey can... Oh, he puts them in their place. MSL and AZ are now down and out, and Flamey's still considering another peak there with just 15 points of health. He is most definitely a fan of the risk, and this time he does find some reward. Now, though, with the bomb still not really committed either side, it's going to be a question of how the CTs choose to respond to this intel. 2 players down on Banana, and Zeus and Edward just dig their heels in, well aware that Dignitas in the past have got kind of action on B and then continue to rotate towards A. This time, doesn't look like it's going to be the case, as they are starting to group, and Seized is... Oh, that's almost a perfectly timed Molotov, just reminding them there is a CT presence.
Almost perfectly timed. I'd say maybe 5 more seconds and it would have been perfect, but they're still in a good position. They still have a couple of flashes. Here come the smokes, and Dignitas are working off the back. They've got the bomb here, right on that corner is Seized. Bear in mind, if he walks through that smoke, he's going to be presenting himself to 2. There's the timing on it. He gets both of them down. That's the bomb loose here. And now, really, the only man who could do anything was Pimp. He started this round well, but I doubt he'll end it any better.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be able to catch both of them. There was a nice crossfire formed by Na'Vi. It's going to be Zeus who finds that one, finds the head of Pimp. And I mean, the Pimp AWPing question is that something that we've seen recently with the kind of addition of Schneider. He fell into that AWPing role, and I mean, a lot of people said that they're really not happy seeing Dignitas. They felt like there was an immediate fall in their form, seeing him lose that rifle role, considering how prominent he can be with a rifle. He said give it time. That was his tweet. He got a whole lot of interaction. Everyone was saying, okay, Pimp's made us a promise now. He's saying give it time, and it's kind of nice that we are seeing him so far primarily using that rifle. Of course, T-side on Inferno, it may be more expected.
Yeah.
But here we are. 4-7, Dignitas do have rifles.
And this looks a hell of a lot like that play towards quad we've been seeing time and time again, especially now they've been given that opener on towards Guardian. They know there's not going to be that presence over by that side by Mini, and already they're starting to filter the way through. Seized, though, this time is here a little earlier. That could cause a difference. Spots how MSL's guns. He knows he's here, but I don't know if he can do anything about it. Molly goes down. He's expecting the push out. He will follow the shot well, but Pimp will exchange, and this time Na'Vi are not letting them pour through.
And look at this, Zeus has just most definitely put up a stop sign, and Kirby is trying to question it. Schneider right behind him as well. It's going to come down to AZ really, because that balcony play is going to be nullified by that smoke. No, Kirby's going to push through it. He could catch out that quad presence. He does. That's a huge play. Fortunately, Edward does go into some sort of damage control mode, and look at Schneider, 3 points of health. Flamey's the one to take them away from him, and it's going to be 5-7 then, as Na'Vi... would you say that they read into that then? Was that like, okay, this is the Dignitas A execute? You saw it quite quickly from their use of their nades, because Na'Vi did seem to have a little bit more of a presence on A that round.
Well, to be fair, I just like the way that Na'Vi kind of took the fights a little closer. They kind of pushed up to actual quad rather than playing out of pit with that double stack. So really like to see that, and it clearly worked a lot better. It stopped them getting that full control, forcing the likes of Guardian to be the one to pick up the slack, and even when he was down, they were able to control it. So this time, all second mid, just kind of plowing their way forward, seeing maybe if they can get a cheeky plant or I don't know.
Maybe on the hunt for Zeus, because he has been playing apps an awful lot. This time he is keeping himself a little safer. Looking for that close fight, and actually look at that, he's on his way.
The Glock train.
Oh, and here they come, and Zeus and Edward is going to hold down Mouse 1 and find 5. And that's going to be wrapping that round up as expected. About 60 points of damage done by Dignitas in that round.
Yeah, I think they knew what they were walking into.
As expected, I think, is the summary of that round.
I don't think they're too sad about that one. I think you just kind of have to swallow it. But 6-7, though, I'm liking this T-side from Dignitas. I really am. I think considering on paper, Dig have been not quite to the, let's say, caliber of Na'Vi at times. It's been a really nice performance from them so far. I'm hoping their CT side can, keep a candle to this, but still, this is early on enough in this as Guardian was considering a smoke then, but backed away from it. And Dig are actually speeding up. They're not slowing down here. They're already pushed up by mid. Kiebi slightly slower through apps, but they are working up here, and they have now gone the opener. Edwards down. This time they're playing from deep in the side. This hasn't been working for Na'Vi. When they pushed up, it worked better, but now they're dependent on Guardian again. He's fallen, and it looks like Dig might have this one in the bag.
Picking up the pace and kind of picking up the heat. Certainly seems to work for Dignitas. Charging into the site, they took a whole lot of damage from nades. Look at those health bars. Just one man still sitting on the initial 100, and Flamian seized, realizing that this may be a bit too tall of an order, and that final round would look a lot sweeter with their current buy. And they are just going to be looking to catch someone trying to escape that bomb explosion. It's going to be Seas who just have a first choice. It's going to be easy. They're all going to be going down. Look at that, Seas. He did it before. He's going to do it again. And now all onto Kiebi. He's just going to be backing away, desperately trying to keep that AK in hand. And Na'Vi making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, and this is what I liked from Dig. They just sped up the pace, as you noted, more than anything. And by the time they did that, no one was able to get towards those challenges at quad. And actually, that impact on those last couple of kills is actually really big. The Galil having to come in for MSL, and I don't think they expected Cease to be playing so close to that, if I'm completely honest, but really well done. I didn't even consider their money by the end of that, especially for MSL there, who's going to go in for the utility rather than the rifle in the end.
Just a couple of smokes for Pimp and AZ. I mean, that's all they've got. And Guardian, hang on a second.
Edward,
they were both
just
considering it. Good fast flash from Dignitas. Now Zeus and Cease, the one's going to go on the aggress. Guardian, Zeus on either end of the map, just continuing to rain down terror. 3 quick for Na'Vi, and now it's going to keep going. Dignitas have just let this round slip away. It's Na'Vi giving Dignitas a taste of their own medicine almost, turning up the heat and turning up the pace, and we are going to be seeing a quick final round on that first half from Na'Vi. 8-7 is our final half.
I think we just still have to keep in mind that's a really nice T-side in my
100%.
eyes. Really like that sort of play. But then again, Na'Vi, I've always liked their T-sides, quite a classical style of play, so I think
Henry G gets a little excited when they play Inferno.
He does. So I'm looking, I always enjoyed to see that. But still, Dignitas, really good performance thus far from them. I think AZ's opening kills were impressive. They're just kind of powerful play towards quad and A just worked out. And if it didn't, then there was always AZ or MSL just kind of powering through B, picking up 2 kills every single time or every now and then. As you had a mild heart attack thinking you were still spectating.
I did. I just accidentally tabbed out. Oh, okay. A little pump of adrenaline to my heart. It's only going to improve my casting. That's good.
Yeah, true.
I was going to take a look at the scoreboard. We have to wait until they do go back in. Just wanted to see kind of a quick reminder on who was performing. Just waiting for that one to update. It will do in a matter of time. Ta-da! 16 for Zeus. I wanted to see how prominent he was being, and that is... Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, 16 in the first half.
Considering the amount of kills he was getting, like when he was playing in Boiler, he got that 3K, and then he was on Balcony. He's had all these moments. He's been the guy just to be in the best spots right now. Yeah,
I mean, he was padding a little bit on these ups, Glock push, but you're right. 16 is a big margin for just the one man. In high contrast with the lower side of Dignitas' scoreboard, Kievi just 5 so far in this one. Zeus 3 times as frags. Now, here we go. AZ's going to be challenged by Na'Vi, and actually, with just 5 points of health, still manages to make an impact. Takes Edward down and out, but Guardian again. Is he going to do it 2 rounds in a row, or 2 pistol rounds in a row? He got 3 in the last time. He's going to try and do the same thing again. It's Zeus who follows suit, and it does look like they have been given control of the site. Flamey continuing where Guardian left off, and we are just going to be seeing
that
Kievi.
Bomb. It's in second mid.
Oh, he has a whole lot of power here. Kiebi, or not. Guardian. 3 in the first, 3 in the second. He's a bit of a pistol meister, taking the light away from Edward, maybe.
A bit of a beast in that one. Straight up to the rifle. No messing around there. He's just going to be going for that. But, wow, what a round. That could have been Kiebi's as well, bearing in mind his position was good. I think someone either spotted or he knew that bomb was in second mid. It was just like, okay, they're all kind of lining up here.
So this is interesting. This is what Henry G gets so excited about, and this is what I get so scared about, is that we've got 4 rifles picked up second round from Na'Vi up against unarmored CTs. There's a whole lot of potential of wasted investment here.
But then again, we saw Dignitas doing something similar. They only had the UMP. That was it. They went for the 4 rifles as well. Then went into the kind of more SMG stuff. But this is the danger. You give a Deagle over towards the likes of MSL. Even if he gets 1 down, that's a rifle gone. Sure, it was the UMP, but that's still a lot of damage, you know, dealt already. And there's so many players lurking away in these close angles that you can do a lot of damage with.
Yeah, you know, you hold a CZ at an angle like that from Schneider, you can fall foul to this second round play from the unarmored CTs, and Flamey's trained right on his location. This would not go well for Schneider. It doesn't. As Flamey finds that one, AZ trying to get some sort of trade, but nothing going to come of it, and they know exactly where he's going to be. As it is going to be now 4 versus 3. Pimp could catch one here. Oh, doesn't find the head early. That's going to be a Na'Vi round, and that's going to be a neat one as well. Only losing the SMG, that could not have gone any better for Na'Vi.
Unless he didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose he could have. You're right, just going to ruin that one. But he is just going to... I assume he's going to be dropped something.
You could just go for
no, there's a rifle lying on the floor, I think.
If you wanted. I think there was a Galil there. Yeah, so they've upgraded to the rifles. But then again, you know, it's... I kind of wish they got an SMG, because they know that Dig aren't going to have anything to work with. So you might as well just buy a MAC-10 or, you know, or anything.
Well, we saw how well it worked before. You know, Dig got the two SMGs, Pimp, and
right?
It was Pimp who picked him up. But yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting, and it's working this way so far for Na'Vi.
Nade.
And oh, that's beautiful, just knocking them down. 3 Dignitas members down in the opening seconds of this round. And now it's all onto MSL, quaking in his boots, wondering where his teammates have evaporated to. And this one's going to be not too shortly following. Seized picks up MSL and secures the 10th for Na'Vi, as they are going to be starting their T side with a bang, picking up the initial 3. And now Dignitas looking to pick up the rebuttal with rifles.
Absolutely love that. Considering Na'Vi were kind of doing the same when they stacked that side out as well, and then you saw Pimp getting all those kills. It's kind of nice to see it going the other way around, just saying, look, we don't need those SMGs, we'll do it in nades. It's easy. But still, as you said, rifle round coming in, this is the big one. This is the one that actually will matter a fair amount. I'm kind of curious to see how they line up for this. Already, Na'Vi showing a little presence towards Banana, but look at Kievi, straight down, switches up to the knife at the worst time possible. 2-for-1 trade to Na'Vi, they're going to break through. AZ quickly on the rotate, but Na'Vi hit the brakes. They're slowing it down, saying, all right, let's just make sure this is the right move. Now they're slowly starting to commit, edging forward, giving AZ the shot, he gets down 2. Na'Vi still heading through here. Sees and Edward walking in towards Pimp. He's got the timing perfectly. Sees going for the plant. He can peek through here, but no, he fakes it out and Sees gets the kill. That's massive. And now Schneider all alone.
That read from Sees just kind of, he actually cancelled the plant for that push, finds it, and now onto Schneider. Damage was done to Sees though, so 112 points of health between the two. That's easy maths, I'll take that. And now he has a crossfire to deal with. Time becoming an issue as well. He does have a kit, which gives him a little bit of extra breathing room, but I don't think he's going to take it, realizing there's nothing easy to be found, and just hoping to catch the exit from 1 or 2. Oh, beautiful. Edward aiding his teammates' escape, finds the frag as an extra, and that's going to be beautiful from Na'Vi as they acquire another round. That was a real test for Dignitas, and they do fail. And now Na'Vi could potentially start running away with this one. That's 4 consecutive rounds on the T side. Dignitas are going to be forced to, I was going to say forced to go with pistols, but I definitely just saw a cheeky Nova.
Yeah, I think Kiebi's just having a bad game. Like, he switched up to the knife at the
Silly
worst
errors,
time
yeah.
then.
Errors you would never see from Na'Vi, I think.
And it's rare from Kiebi as well. Like, this guy was one of those kind of like, you know, big heavy hitters coming in, like some real talent there, but he's just having a mare of a game. But still, that trade at the start kind of signified how that round went. But let's look at MSL. Last time he did land one of these, took the rifle away early, but not going to have the same effect. And it looks like a bit of a rinse and repeat round. I wonder if we're going to see the same kills coming in. Flamey's in the similar spot as well.
Yeah, they're just going to be kind of banging their head against the door.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Schneider wins it this time.
Revenge is sweet. That was a nice little trade from Schneider. Catches a glimpse of someone in mid as well, but I don't know whether a Pimp and Kiebi are going to be able to deal with these 3 Na'Vi players surging in towards B. He does hear footsteps and his teammate's going to go down. I don't think Pimp's going to be able to do too much either. And no, AZ and Schneider then left. CZ and Nova between them as they know the bomb's going to be going down. And actually, if they could find something on Edward, that would be a little bit of a gift. But I think Edward's just going hunting. Schneider seizing the AK opportunity, dropped by Flamey not too long ago, and he's going to get away with the rifle. Actually, I say get away. Zeus is not too far on the hunt.
No, and that was smart from Edward, trying to take that rifle away from Schneider, making sure no one gets anything. But sadly, Schneider does escape, for his sake at least.
It's scary, actually.
Yeah, they're in literally every angle, let's bear in mind.
It's like Predator. They're all hunting him, and he's just going to be worming his way through the corridor. Guardian is going to be the one to pick it up, and that's going to be, I mean, salt to the wound for Dignitas. They're not being able to save. That's, I mean, it's kind of been the recurring theme so far in this game is whenever Dignitas have been trying to save, Na'Vi are going to be the ones bringing the pain. It's particularly Seized. I mean, he's done that. He's taken, like, what, 6, 7 rifles away from them on the exit, and now we see Guardian doing exactly the same thing. Now, though, 8-12 and back to the full buy for the CTs.
Yeah, we are going to see Guardian at least on the AWP this time, so curious to see how that one works out for him. Yeah,
let's have a little look as MSL, who has been battling for early banana control with the Deagle, this time has the M4 and is going to be doing exactly the same thing. Backing away, though, from the early nades from Na'Vi. And we are going to be seeing ourselves in a 3 versus 2 over on towards B. I'm not too sure whether Na'Vi want to try and push up. They are chancing it, hoping Guardian finds something early on. As there's a little bit of poultry massacre. This is going to slow down. Important round for Dignitas, though. Yet to see a win on the CT side here on Inferno.
Let's remember there's a lot of mollies still on the CT side as Guardian's going to get caught out there, and they're both going to exchange. And Guardian will get away with his life, but Dignitas can still buy a lot of time. Still a smoke on Kiebi, still had a molly there, going to put him down. And look at the time. Na'Vi are playing this very close to the wire. They're going to have to force something maybe towards A, but even the players on A still have a little bit to work with. You can see those flashes slowing them down again. This could be quite a brute force round here. Guardian this low, he's going to have to create some opportunities for them. Pimp's playing far back on the site. They're basically saying to Na'Vi, all right, you're going to have to try and take the sides from us. We're going to play as deep as possible. Let's hope you can dig us out of it now. And here we go. Schneider's going to get the first shot there. Doesn't land it, but AZ's got his back. That's 2 coming in, but the split through arch does start to pay out.
And it's paying dividends. Look at that. 4 very quick frags for Na'Vi. Kiebi on the rotate. He's slow. And the bomb is actually going to be planted very, very soon by Seized. He had to go for a little retrieval mission. Is finally going to be punching in the digits, and that gave Kiebi time to get in position. Smoke deterring him for a second, though. The smoke's going to also indicate where... Oh, through this own smoke. Beautiful. Now he knows where the last player is. Surely he knows where he's on the site. What was he doing? Looking towards Pit. Seized finds him. Could he not have worked out that with the bomb down, the only kind of possibility, maybe unsure of that bomb's location?
He's having a bad day, I think.
He's having a bit of a mare. And that's going to be 13 for Na'Vi. A real potential win there from Dignitas, and not going to be coming into fruition.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that. As you mentioned, like, don't get me wrong, you could probably plant
I mean, hindsight is 2020. Yeah. We've got X-ray, we've got everything, but it felt like he had enough information to assume the last player was the planter.
Maybe. I'm not sure. We'd have to watch that back, see if he maybe caught something out, but still. 3-man stack towards B this time. We're seeing Dignitas spin a couple more players over there, but Na'Vi this time starting up second mid a little earlier, leaving the bomb all the way back by T-spawn, not committing to too much early on, aside from just that little second mid presence, but C's going to crack open, and Kiebi just being bullied in this game, but look at that follow-up. C's gets another, finally put down by Schneider, but they know it's been a 3-man stack on B. They're already starting to plow through towards A. Pimp and AZ are going to be on a real receiving end here. Yeah,
this is going to heat up fast. Fortunately, Flamey does get caught with his knickers around his ankles in that jump from balcony, and Edward causing even more damage. AZ, though, is the one keeping it level, and Schneider's going to push where it hurts. Now all on to Edward. He's only got 38 points of health. He's got 0, as it's going to be AZ who finds his 3rd in the round. That was just two-man all-stars there from Dignitas. It's going to be AZ with 3 and Schneider with 2, and that's going to be the 9th. An all-needed, much-needed first round on the CT side, then, for the Danish squad.
Yeah, it took some time, bearing in mind, and considering how that started, that was all C's just going crazy on Banana, and then the saving grace coming into play, and really impressive stuff from AZ and Schneider to close that down in the end. But let's see how this one goes. Yeah.
That's his deep banana smoke thrown. Different angle, different throwing.
It's just the different timing to me, at least. It allows it to bloom perfectly. Yeah, exactly. So you get a little bit more time. You can actually gain control there without being challenged. So both players will push down. That's Kiebi and MSL. I think MSL...
Oh, okay.
Pardon?
Excuse-moi. Second smoke throwing in, continuing to delay Na'Vi, and this is the best we've seen from either side in terms of taking early banana control. Pushing forward, we saw Na'Vi and Dignitas have struggles with it. This is the most success they've found with it. With Kiebi being the support. Where was he doing? He was staring at the wall. He was perfectly evading that flash.
Dead again.
And Kiebi goes down. He was just really interested in that brickwork there, as he was angled to be that trade-off if the flash came in, and with the flash, he just continued to stare at the wall. Now, though, numbers do favour Dignitas, and this is much needed again as we put them into double digits and start to close that gap. Na'Vi knocking on that 16's door. 40 seconds now. MSL and AZ are in good positions to deal with this bomb if it does choose to get committed towards B. In fact, I think that's actually going to be the backing off from Na'Vi. They're going straight back through mid. Flamey's the one who's made the call, saying, okay, guys, I've got a good feeling about A. Pimp and Schneider lying in wait, ready to receive. 20 seconds though. This is Na'Vi. They like to cut it fine, and this is going to be becoming more and more a problem as Schneider does take Guardian out. They do consider this push still. Edward's so pushed up that they almost have to commit, and they are going to do just that. There's the last 2 frags, and Dignitas really bringing important rounds home. 2 in a row then for them, and not losing too many men as well. Important to try and stabilize their economy. Yeah,
it's a massive fact for them. You saw how low they've been running on utility. A couple of Famous coming in for them as well. I think that was in the hands of Pimp, if I'm not mistaken. So good to see them maybe building up a little more. But on the other side of things, Na'Vi going to go down to the Galil, or Galils, should I say. Edward and Flamey both picking them up. And looking maybe to brute force something out of this round. I'm not sure what they can achieve here because, let's bear in mind, B has been starting to be won out more and more by Dignitas getting that early control, but this time not going to get it and going to have to take their time. Yeah, limited nades as well for Na'Vi. Just seeing about, what is that, 3 flashes, 2 smokes, make it 3, excuse me. Yeah. As counting is hard. It's 4, isn't it? Yeah. You know, just go ahead and stop trying to do counting on it. But either way, Dignitas found some success with their early banana control. Not going to be doing the same again, but that deep smoke does keep Na'Vi in check. And another slow one from the T side. 20 seconds was the time when they finally got towards some sort of execute to the site, but they'd lost players very early on. The danger here is with Na'Vi that when they run with so little utility like this, when they only have, let's say, 3 smokes there and a couple of flashes, when they commit, they have to commit. There's very few other options. Where you look on the other side, they're down to something similar, but still they're on the CT side. That clock will be slowly going in their favor. And especially when people are pushed up like this, they're going to have to check it or take the fight. You can see the flash being lined up. Kiebi going to try and set up MSL to catch out maybe the likes of Zeus, and he gets an inkling. Here we go. This is perfect. And he's going to have every single opportunity. Gets 1, gets 2, gets the 3rd. MSL just saying no to that entrance on B. Now Pimp's come over. Kiebi's there, but Guardian all the way through on A. But time is of the essence. 18 seconds left, and Schneider is ready to cut off Seized. Yeah, they're just playing the clock beautifully here. Dignitas on Schneider does actually fumble. Fortunately, Pimp isn't going to be making the same error, and then Guardian is left with just 8 seconds left, trying to do some damage. Can't get the bomb down. I think he knows that. 4 seconds. He's not going to be able to have enough time, and instead going to try and take Pimp out of the running. Doesn't even manage that one as Pimp's just, tell a lie. Trying to dance it, and it's going to be, again, Guardian and rather Na'Vi taking rifles away when they're in these dire circumstances. I don't think it's going to have too much of an effect on Dignitas, even an AWP being picked up for Pimp, and that's going to be intriguing to see where he just does choose to take that. He's got a decent spawn towards, A, so hopefully we get to see him maybe challenge out there. But Guardian could be the one opting up towards a rifle, and then the Tech-9s to follow. So, interesting choice for Na'Vi. Everyone's going to go see what they can do here, but look at those deep nades coming down. Na'Vi having none of it. They've gone through second mid. They expected this, and Pimp finds Zeus. He's going to expect a flood of more players. Schneider's there, but Guardian getting the double. That's massive. That's 2 guns loose, and they're more than retrievable. Edward lurking down below. 2 players in front. Gets 1, gets 2, looks for the 3rd as well, and Kiebi has fallen, and that is a massive turn of events here, as they will recover the guns, get the AWP, and that was just filthy. You know what, Na'Vi, they don't like playing this new style, this kind of like down and dirty Tech-9s, SMGs, but my God, when they do it, they don't have to go bad. That is insane. Like that round alone may very well have determined the winner of this game. Na'Vi now sitting on 14. Nothing really for Dignitas. In fact, oh my God, they've invested. This round does mean quite literally everything for Dignitas. They have to pick this round up, and they've tried to kind of follow in Guardian's footsteps, the 1 rifle and the armored pistol. Let's see if they can kind of go ahead and do one better. MSL has all of the weight on his shoulders with that FAMAS. A couple of flashes to get him in. It's AZ who has them. And they are starting to go towards the rifle. That's one positive, I guess, if you're trying to find a silver lining for the Dignitas Cloud. That's an indicator for Kiebi. He's going to be backing away, forced away by the smoke, and Flamey's the one that's looking for that initial entrance, but smart from Dignitas. They're going to be making that rotate, but also keeping these tight angles. They don't want to go down before the T's do swarm in, and talk of swarm, here they come. All holding hands, all 5 of them coming on in now. Still no blood drawn. It's actually going to be Na'Vi who go down first. AZ was the one to do that. Nice from Kiebi. Dignitas! Oh, Kiebi finds 2 through on towards Na'Vi, and it's going to be fortunately Seized, who does go down after taking 2. Guardian isn't done yet, though. AZ is the one to finish it.
And Dignitas, they needed to pick up that round, and they'd go ahead and just throw it back into Na'Vi's court.
You know what? Kiebi's had a bit of a dire game for a man of his caliber, but you can see glimmers of what he can truly play like in these instances. There's the first. You see the stunner following up. Just real beautiful stuff. In the end, didn't get the third, but still, that was a big round to turn. As you said, they invested into that, so they had to let that pay off. And now, let's see if they can keep this pace up. They've got the opportunity. Na'Vi have nothing. Well, P250's a flash and a smoke. So,
oh God,
Jesus.
The chicken just caused Pimp to pull the trigger. I think
panic.
He did.
Sheer panic. But yeah, this should be clean. There is no reason this shouldn't be clean, and Schneider doing well there. He's been playing from that bedroom spot more and more often, and there we go. There's the mowdown. Nice and clean from Dignitas. And that's exactly what they should be doing.
Again, comes down to those two very CSGO-esque rounds. The one rifle and the 4 armored pistols.
Yeah.
Those 2 rounds back-to-back have really thrown this this game into a spin, as we now sit at 13-14. Both teams now with a real shot at picking this one up. I'm seeing, again, a very big number on the side of AZ. 25 frags. It's gone rather unnoticed from us. We need to kind of highlight that 25 frags alongside Seized on 28. Na'Vi all sitting pretty in the frags, as of course these rounds have always been close. Win or lose for Na'Vi, they've taken bodies with them. Dignitas establishing early dominance on B, but that's completely irrelevant considering that bomb's location. Na'Vi dropping it off towards alt mid and going to start trying to take some bodies down with them on A.
Yeah, and we have seen AZ return from B. He kind of escorted MSL and Kiebi down towards the bottom of Banana, just make sure that they don't get bullied through. He's now been able to return, joined by Schneider, by CT Arch, and then we've got Pimp down by Pit now. Pimp earlier was kind of keeping eyes on those apps with the AWP, but backed away from that. But curiously enough, Edward and Flamey are both there. So now he needs to keep control of that, otherwise Schneider could be overrun. But once again, Na'Vi love running this clock down low, but with MSL and Kiebi in that position, they know they're not going to push there, and AZ just lays in wait. Here we go, perfect coordination, and AZ with the stunning follow-up. That's the sort of caliber of play you can expect from that man, and Schneider adjusts round well, expecting the play through apps, and now they draw up close. It's 14-14.
Going to keep coming back down to that one round.
Look at the money as well.
That's going to be Na'Vi in a real dire circumstance now. Dignitas have turned this game on its head, and all because of this kind of topsy-turvy force buys we saw. Topsy-turvy. I'm just crazy at this point.
I'm just crazy.
I'm just crazy.
Oh God, they've done it again just without the rifle.
Okay, then this is going to be it for Na'Vi. They've most definitely committed into this round. They're not interested in any draws. They don't want to be seeing 15-15. They're fighting for 16. It's going to be a whole load of nades and the Tech 9 armor as they're looking to surge out of apartments. And Schneider's going to be the one to greet them.
Oh my God.
Just getting onto balcony in the nick of time. There is going to be a smoke, but fortunately a Molotov straight away locking them out. You say locking them out. No, they're not. They're pushing straight through, and it is going to be Schneider who falls first. AZ was questioning. He only found one. This could go horribly wrong. Oh, Dignitas have lost control of A. Bomb goes in as well, so now time becoming a factor. Kjerbu is sprinting as fast as he can from B. MSL and Pimp just waiting as they are going to be throwing out what nades they have left to try and take this one back. They cannot afford to see this round slip away, and Na'Vi have made the best out of an armored Tech 9. MSL trunk down to 34 with just an 80. He is going to try and push through, but Guardian's there to greet him. There we go. And Na'Vi have picked up what looked like a very unlikely round. With 4 people still standing, they recover as many rifles as they can.
They've got 4 rifles
out and Dignitas. Congrats to Na'Vi for investing into that round. I don't think Dignitas were expecting the Tech 9 armor into that one.
I didn't expect it to work. Like, don't get me wrong, I expected maybe Schneider to go down because he had he's got the silent stem 4, he can easily get overwhelmed. But then he had backup, but then just got everything got dismantled. But still, this is the important round now. 15-14. Dig need one more just to keep it close, and Na'Vi from the very verge of doom coming back. MSL, run away, buddy. You just got burnt alive. He's down so low. And already so much damage done by Na'Vi, and they've got B control this time. The map's theirs. They don't have any control for once.
Yeah, no, MSL getting cooked up quite nicely. Good Danish pastry. Now it's going to be MSL who actually continues to push forward. It's just 37 points of health, and he's still going on the aggress. Questionable choices being made, and Guardian is the first man to punish him for it.
See, now, the only time he's done this is when he's been trying to bait them in towards playing towards B, when he knows that AZ's there. Because AZ will often rotate off, but look at this, Na'Vi reading that well. They're already getting the hell out of there. Maybe looking over towards A, where only Pimp and Schneider are waiting. Now, don't get me wrong, Schneider's been having a big performance from this side. But this many players from Na'Vi here, this could be very, very difficult. And look at them wrapping around CT Arch. No one's watching now. Schneider already back towards Pimps on site. Oh, this could be huge. Na'Vi, let's see what you got here. Aze is en route. It's going to get tough.
Right down to the wire, just as Na'Vi likes it. The 28 seconds left. That's a big front from AZ. Schneider as well chiming in. And now just 20 seconds, and that bomb is not down. The T side really keeping it interesting.
Oh, Schneider
completely confirms it. 15-15 will be the result as we're going to be going all the way into overtime. That was this game has constantly been a bit of a question mark. We said it was going to be a question, you know, how well do Dignitas perform, already picking up wins against Hellraisers and Mouse. Na'Vi now a step above. Looks like they're up to the challenge, up to the task, and if Kiebi was hitting a couple more shots, a couple of less, you know, poor decisions, we could have very well seen a Dignitas overtimeless win.
But to be fair, Schneider's been absolutely unreal. Look at this play at the end. That was great, that was great. No one's even challenging him right now. That's the worrying factor. They're also bothered by Pimp on site. He had complete free reign to do as he pleased. So now while they warm up, I've got to say, Schneider was the big difference in the end. He started to really come into his own for me. And then you add in the AZ factor. Those two, really heavy hitters.
Yeah, everything can change though, you know. It's people have bad halves, bad maps. Maybe just going to be coming into this overtime with a fresh mind. See how much a team can change, and I always wonder how much a team will change, you know, going into an overtime. Like, there's always this mind games, like, are you going to do the same thing you just did, or is it going to be, is something different about to happen? Is something different about to transpire? That's always something that intrigues me, and it does seem like both sides are up to the task of force buys. I'm pretty sure we saw 2 from Na'Vi and 1 from Dignitas with these kind of, not even 1 rifle, 4 pistols, but that Tech 9 buy-up from Na'Vi really was the saving grace for them.
It's kind of scary when they do it, but it worked for both teams. Both times they've been forced onto that sort of platform, they have actually come out on top of it. But still, it's kind of a worrying state of affairs. But we are going to be seeing these guys getting ready to get this one started up, and we'll be getting back underway. Dignitas had a really good, let's say, T side. Very slow start on towards the CT side of things, but towards the end really found their footing, whereas Na'Vi had the smoother of rides, at least in my eyes, in that regard, but then just kind of let a couple of rounds slip. So I'm excited to see how this one goes down. Both teams now back on the full buy, of course, as it is overtime. And let's see how this one goes.
Okay then, jumping straight on into the action, we are going to be seeing no AWP in play. Neither Guardian or Pimp is interested, of course. 10k starting money does make an AWP a real investment, and demonstrating that Pimp's quite comfortable on the rifle. And hello, AZ's going to have an element of surprise, only taking 1 though. Took him a while to connect the shots, and that's going to cost him. And Schneider, in the meantime, does go down to Edwards. So Na'Vi being gifted 2 early frags. They're going to try and push where it hurts now. And
now Pimp has been playing on site almost religiously to this point. They've got to expect it. I think
he saw him, definitely.
Yeah, I think Flamey even saw him there. The flash will come out. MSL's on the rotate, but Seized holding that smoke really well. He'll get the drop towards MSL, and that's going to be the go signal. Pimp, position known, shouldn't do any damage. There's the playthrough. Now Kiebi's just out on his own in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and that was a case of Na'Vi happily accepting what Dignitas were giving them there with those 2 early frags. Schneider going aggressive to peek ult mid, not necessarily a necessary peek.
High risk, high reward, right?
Yeah.
AZ had a good spawn for it. He, his movement was absolutely sublime. He pretty much got there at the same time as the tease. So if maybe he'd hit the second shot, that's more than worth it. And then bearing in mind there was 2 other players there as well. If Schneider had hit his, they weren't expecting it.
It's a lot of ifs and buts, you're right.
It is, but it's high risk reward play, and I guess for the first round on their seed side, why not try it?
Yeah, and if it had worked, you know, where did Na'Vi sit there? Like, wait a second, why are they so aggressive, so comfortable? We did see that round then go the way of Na'Vi. And so they're back into the fray. Where does this leave Dignitas? They're going to be maybe kind of keeping it a little slow, a little bit more quiet. As look at that. So doesn't go for it for the first round when he has the kind of the freedom of 10k. When his team has just lost the round, he just decides to try something different, picking up the AWP and going to be taking the long route to peek from boiler side.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. He's had some good rounds with the AWP so far. Mostly I was kind of impressed by him towards Banana more than mid, but he does have a lovely little boost taken out from Schneider. Kind of the other side of what you can do with the Banana there, but gonna have to back out of that as Na'Vi do have control of second mid, and they could have played off the back, but choose not to.
Yeah, so good ideas coming in from Dignitas. There's no denying they spent a whole lot of time working on a couple of pages for their strat book.
Oh, this is quick from Na'Vi. This is very different. They're working in towards CT Arch, but Seized has the bomb on his own by quad. This could be dangerous.
I like what Pimp's holding here. He could catch out two, just catches one, took the legs of another. AZ was the one to finish where he started, and now just Edward and Guardian. Again, Pimp got a good read on it. AZ's the one to take that frag, and Edward left to his own devices. Just finds one, isn't going to be given any more, as that was going to be 3 for AZ in that round. He hit 30. He's definitely been demonstrating the power he possesses. And we are going to be seeing the equalizer from Dignitas.
Yeah, one thing I really liked them from Dig was kind of the counter smokes they put down as well to really define those fights against the T side. And we rarely see Na'Vi speeding up that much as well. So that's a really nice addition to them, but just couldn't land those shots in the end. And AZ doing what AZ does. Let's keep that in mind. But he's got a good spawn here. I'm curious to see if he goes aggressive. We've seen it every now and then. He'll go for like just a crazy opening shot. And, okay, I thought he was going for it then, but look at the nade there. 2 nades call out Guardian. He's down to 23 already. That could be a big difference here.
I mean, for sure, that's a player really forced to play a lot more passive than he perhaps would. Guardian going to be at the back, at the tail end of the assault. There's no doubt about that now. But Na'Vi not got any early plans for it. Oh, hang on, I thought he was about to throw up a foolish Molotov there. Considering Na'Vi have most definitely got this assault on the back burners. Then again, MSL goes down through smoke. And, I thought maybe Na'Vi could get a little bit of an ignition, a little bit of extra pace. Wind beneath their wings, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case, as they're just going to continue to slow things down. AZ, on the other hand, is ready, lingering on the edge of that smoke, just hoping to catch a glimmer of Edward, and that flashbang is going to be not what he was bargained for, hoping the smoke stays just a second longer. It does. It's going to be the cover he needed. Now he can catch 2 with their pants around their ankles, but no, Edward swings around, finds AZ, and it comes down to Pimp.
There we go, but he's going to be overwhelmed. Surely Flames can get this. Oh, he just about misses it there, Pimp. Flamey will get through. That's A open, or at least, should I say, quad, because Schneider could have caught a glimpse, and he could have maybe caught off that bomb. But now Edward, well and truly aware, he knows where these players were. Bombs down, Kieti on the precipice here, trying to peek through that smoke. Not going to have a real shot in towards that one as C's does find him, but good positioning from Schneider here, going the long way around. Does get Edward down eventually, but I doubt he'll get much more than this unless they go for the challenge here.
And we know Na'Vi, they're not a team to be fools.
Flying time.
It's going to be Flamey that's find it. Just making sure that they were going to trade it out nicely, as they do keep that half nice and tidy. 17-16 then, as we are going to be swapping sides. Na'Vi now on the CT side. Intrigued to see if they do anything particularly outstanding. You know, like the Dignitas first round where they went for those early pushes. Are Na'Vi gonna, I don't think that's something that Na'Vi are particularly fond of. They're quite happy to just stick to what works, and we'll see. We are just seeing them warm up right now. I really want a big, like, bright Comic Sans text on the front that just says warm up, so everyone is aware.
And you specifically want Comic Sans?
It has to be Comic Sans, and it has to have, like, I don't know, a weird color combination. I'm thinking,
can it be like that word art back in the day,
word
like
art,
the
perfect.
rainbow fade one.
Comic Sans word art.
Oh, that sounds great.
And it needs to say what. If someone could mock that up for me, I'll see if I can get that approved by our graphics department. Yep. I'm thinking like maybe a couple of like clip arts from Microsoft Word as well. You know, like the kind of like a, I don't know.
Like maybe a clock on there. Like
and a man reading like a newspaper or something.
A book.
Because we're warming up. Oh no, a guy on a treadmill. Perfect.
Yes, warming up.
Perfect. There we go. All right, so I'm going to submit that to our graphics department, but we are going straight away back into the action here on our second half of our first game of the day, of our overtime between Na'Vi and Dignitas. Lauren, why don't you guide us through the opening movements from Dignitas now on the T side?
The opening movements, that's a very unique way of phrasing it. I'll do my best for you here.
Dankeschön.
Jesus. But Na'Vi with the early control towards B. C's going to give it a peek, but it looks like Dig. Let's refresh ourselves as to what they were doing so well on their T side before, was their play through towards quad. It was extraordinarily good, extraordinarily strong. You can see how much utility is being placed down there. They've got 4 players present on this site just because of Pimp, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. But if Flamey can buy the time, if Seized comes back around, Dignitas' initial play here gets thrown to the wind. They tried to force Na'Vi to read into that play towards quad, but look at them reading the book back, and Zeus is right round beside them. He's going to get down one. He's just playing the game now. He doesn't need to repeat. He can leave his teammates to lock that down. Edward's en route, and Dig are just stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
And that is pretty terrifying, and one of those rocks is the Greek god Zeus. Just going to be sitting around T-Apps. He's got no problems whatsoever in just forcing Dignitas into this kind of paranoia in leaving Banana, checking every possibility, like really just forced into a very dire scenario where it's not necessarily a case of picking up the round, more a case of survival. Now, it does look like Zeus is giving them a little bit of room to breathe. This is a round that surely Dignitas aren't going to have a go at.
Oh, Guardian's actually rotating there.
Easy. He's all considering it. 19 seconds. He can't surely making the call that the site's clear. Just check your corners. It's going to be Edward who does make it very clear that the site is not for sale. It's Flamey who actually finds 2. Edward just the distraction in this scenario, and he gets the 3rd as well. Nice controlled M4 play, and that's going to put 18 now. 1 away from Na'Vi picking up this win here in the ESL ESEA Pro League.
I love the way he's just flung himself in there, like mid-air.
Hang on.
There's 2 of you. I can't do anything about this. Oh well. Exactly. Just kind of threw himself to the win. But anyway, 18-16. Na'Vi in the lead here. Good read into that last play. Almost over-reading the situation at quad, but then adjusting well off the back. And now we are going to see him picking up the AWP, looking for a little bit of action early on. Not going to find it though. They boost it up towards Banana, try and clear out, make sure no one's pushing down or by card just yet. And Flamey playing it smart, holding a slightly more passive angle. But already Kiebi and Schneider starting to look towards A.
Important round for Dignitas. Could not really get more important than this. Chances of a victory here put into their hands with this first 5 scenario. No blood drawn just yet. It's going to be a case of what Edward and Guardian can find on either sides of mid. Kiebi investing that Molotov into corner, clearing as much as they can without the loss of a Dignitas man. Guardian, though, is going to catch a glimpse through that smoke. Is he going to push through? He considered it. Hearing footsteps now pushing through CTR. Schneider potentially going to get caught off here. Is this... Oh, they're just doing a dance. And now Schneider's not going to be expecting this one. This has been going completely the wrong way. Topsy-turvy is what's unfolding here on the A site now. Dignitas do have the numbers advantage courtesy of AZ. 2 swift frags. And Flamey and Seized are now on the rotate from B.
This is perfect again. Every time Dig do this sort of play, they're so good at getting around towards the A. So whether they're splitting CT Arch or working through apps, it's paid off well. Now the retake's on. We saw Flamey's capability. We know Cease can play some really big games, but I just don't see them being able to find a route back in here, especially with them dug in so well. Time running out. This should be Dignitas' round. They are going to go for it though. Flamey going to start heading in. Pip misses the shot. It's going to get a little more dangerous, but it's just down to Seized. Time is running out. He doesn't have a kit. He needs to back out of this one. As Easy will close it down.
Pimp darting to safety.
Just.
God, what? He either did some crazy mathematics or thought the round wasn't going to end, or rather he wasn't going to see the end of the round. And okay, sigh of relief as he does survive with that AWP with just 4 points of health. That's actually, that could have gone horribly wrong considering the funds. But either way, we'll stop doing mathematics and go back into the game. Dignitas survive and are looking to take us into a second overtime here. As it all, again, comes down to how they structure this attack. Those early nades are just going to be taking big chunks out of MSL. So he does get tickled down to 44 points of health. Still feel like we have seen a distinct lack of the pace from Dignitas. You remember those earlier rounds?
This is nice though. I like Edward's position here actually. Considering every time we've seen Kiebi and Schneider playing through apps like this, they have gone towards quad. Edward's in a great little spot here, just up by that mini balcony. He's going to have the first shot towards Schneider and still gets taken down. That's a huge mistake.
Schneider does actually go down though. Fortunately, the damage from Edward did enable that nade to take him out, but Pimp's AWP finds Guardian. That's a huge frag as it does look like Dignitas have managed to get some sort of leg work. What's the expression?
Leg up?
Leg up, thank you very much. Legway was what I was looking for there.
Oh.
Legway, yeah. Either way, Kiebi has managed to keep Zeus distracted on A. I'm allowed 1 brain fart per cast. That was
headway,
it. Headway and
room,
leg work, leg room. Oh well. Important round, Lauren.
Yeah. Pick back up, buddy.
No,
20 seconds.
Here I go. 20 seconds and Dignitas have really been quiet. They have to go fast. Zeus just sitting on Graveyard. And actually, if he plays this right, if he plays the clock perfectly, we could be seeing Na'Vi pick up this round. Yes, they have the numbers, but time is against them. Zeus could be Navi's best friend, as he's surely going to be hearing the bomb go in. He just needs to check it. Kiebi, the babysitter, keeps Dignitas alive with that one. He was thinking, this was a little too easy. This is a little too fortunate for us, and it's going to be then Flamey who's just left to try and take some rifles away for fun, and it's not going to happen. AZ does get it, and we are going to be going into our second overtime.
Now, do you remember when I said the chest infection at the start of the day, and I was really hoping for some nice quick games? Oof. My God, I'm not getting that, am I?
We'll do like a roast. Oh, yes! That's exactly what I requested.
We just need the clip art now to follow up, but this is perfect.
That's a start. That's a
I
start.
like the way it's not even centered towards like the hate, you know, like
Dignitas
that's
AZ. Hideous.
That makes it really nice. Oh.
Any kind of
I love it.
Any typographers also will note the kerning between the W and the A is disgusting. Look at that. Look at the distance between the W and the A. That is so ugly. I love it.
Like the R and M is kind of touching a bit in comparison.
Oh, that my friends is perfect.
It's like W arm up.
W arm up.
It's the new thing.
That's exactly what that is.
Yep.
So now everyone is aware that this is in fact a warm up.
Yeah.
The ESL graphics department works fast, Lauren.
Exactly. That's delivery time for you boys.
That's what we needed. Good resource delivery times.
Beautiful work, guys. Beautiful.
And now we are, of course, going away from the W arm up.
Oh, I missed the W arm up.
Hang on a second. We've misplaced a Dignitas member. Can we get it back?
He gone?
Where's our warm up?
Thank you. You're getting nervous. Oh, good old overtimes. Double overtime though. This is a really good game.
How are your lungs holding up, Lauren?
Oh, very poorly. Very poorly.
You are
painful.
ill. Yeah.
Yes. I'm probably going to go home and pass out for about 2 days after this.
It's very distracting actually hearing you lose your lungs while I'm trying to cast.
I'm really sorry that
If you could try and die quietly, that would be
I'll
really kind of you.
walk away next time.
Yes, please
sorry.
do. Thank you.
I'll put my W arm up.
A lot of love and respect then for Lauren, who is still bringing you some CS despite being halfway to death. Yeah.
Yep.
And with that said, you be quiet for a second. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this first round.
Sweet, Alex. Take it away.
Here we go then. Na'Vi are going to be putting an AWP into play on their CT side. It's something that we have seen a couple of question marks surrounding it for Pimp. Sometimes opting for it, sometimes feeling more comfortable on the rifle. It's not even a question of spawns, because he has got fast AWP spawns and still opted for the rifle, nor is there a question of money. Fast Flash does completely lock Guardian out of that early presence in middle. That's a good start from Dignitas. Still a good start. Schneider and MSL are making a whole lot of room for themselves over towards Apps. They're going shopping. It doesn't look like anything catches their fancy because they're looking to leave through Boiler. That is a very nice flash from Edward. I'm going to take note, as he's going to be looking to try and peek towards quad. Doesn't look like anything's going to come of it because it's Zeus who does all the work for him, making the call that damage is done, and it most definitely is. AZ down to 5, as well as MSL completely out of the running in this round. Molotov could cause problems for Guardian, but look at that, backs away through the fire and flames while finding a frag. Beautiful from the Na'Vi boys so far, and the rest of Dignitas have taken a beating as well.
Yeah, and look at him. He's still going strong here. That's his second. Almost going to find Pimp just off the timing alone. Going to back away, adjust, and get the hell out of dodge, bearing in mind how low AZ is. This round has thoroughly slipped away from Dignitas. Unless they can do something magical. AZ going to town even with just 5 HP, but it's down to him. 1v3. He'll catch off Edward. He's got 28 seconds to do some wizardry there as Seized will lock down the round and get the first one on the board in the second go of overtime towards Na'Vi.
Dignitas. I'll look to try and change something up, potentially. The point I was trying to make not too long ago was that, do you remember at the start, Dignitas' T side, they were having these kind of fast quad pushes that were finding relative success? We haven't seen one of them since overtime. They've kind of hit a bit more of a slower pace. I say slower pace. AZ, 1 frag away from 40 now into our second overtime. He's definitely no shortage of frags for the Dane. And actually, just as I ordered, just as the doctor ordered, it's going to be a fast push then on towards A, and I don't think Na'Vi are ready.
And Guardian isn't even here. Normally he's the player helping them out on the A side, but now Edward and Zeus are left with all to do, but they're pushed back on the side. This can still work out. And look at that crossfire coming in. 2 for Zeus, 1 for Edward, slowing down this Dignitas play until then. MSL and Kiebi finally get towards the side itself, but who's coming knocking? It's Guardian. He knows where Kiebi is, but it's MSL with the bomb, and it's Flamey putting the pressure on.
The bomb's still locked down, actually. They're taking their time with this one. That's almost wise, because it has kept Na'Vi's rotate kind of in check, getting a couple of numbers down before they consider being vulnerable with that plan. MSL is now going to be doing that and does cut the time down to 35. Nice from Kiebi. All comes down to Flamey then, and he is going to be completely white. Decides to continue into this 1v2. Desperately trying to find the head of MSL. Not going to happen, as Dignitas do manage to keep it close. Very nice from MSL and Kiebi, completing those 5 frags between the 2 of them.
Yeah, really good setup. Very last minute then. I don't know if it's good lucky timing. The Guardian was on B that time, but whatever it was, you asked for that play to come out, and there it was.
Thanks, Dignitas. Appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. But sadly enough, Edward not having much luck actually shutting them down on that play. Every time they've gone quad, he's done well elsewhere, whether it be retakes or anything like that. He's been fine, but he's been a little quiet when they actually made that play. But again, look at Edward now, not having a great deal to work with, and Guardian positioning early towards B.
Hoping to shut down MSL, who has been fighting for B control, or rather banana control, both on CT and T, and they line up! Just going to take the one. Fortunately, I think it was MSL ducking under that shot, as that could have gone horribly wrong. It looks like a second is not going to be given. AZ, he takes 40. That's his 40th frag now of the game, and it's an important one at that. Takes the AWP out from Na'Vi, and Cease isn't interested in that one. He does walk over his teammates' remains as he tries to kind of fill in where he left off. But Dignitas, they don't care about B. 2 players from Na'Vi need to pull up their socks and start running, because Edward is about to meet the majority of Dignitas.
He is just waiting out in those apps, and Kievi unwittingly knowing, just edging towards him, and it will be Edward to just dome him down, and now it's a 2v2. It has to return for the rifle, but MSL with the bomb are going to have to take a little bit of a longer route, and Edward in this position will make it so much more awkward, as Cease can now help him out, and this could be around, but Schneider still breaks through, bomb goes down, Edward wants a cheeky beat, but he knows he's in trouble here, and that crossfire comes out to play.
That felt like a lot of luck then on for Dignitas. That was a round they could have done a lot neater and tidier. Fortunately, Na'Vi not managing to finish where they started with Zeus on that Mag 7 in apps. Very nice from him, using that in that CQB environment where it does, of course, flourish. And that is going to be Dignitas, this time with the advantage on the half. Na'Vi picked up 2 last time. And now it's going to be a case of how much Dignitas can acquire over on the CT side of things.
Have to wait and see, of course. So far, as you pointed out, a very big performance going through for AZ. He's been having a bit of a monstrous game. The 40 was the scoreline we recorded him hitting already. But I don't think that's too much of a surprise to many.
Your poor lungs, Lauren.
Yeah, it's painful right now, but thank you for keep reminding me. It's good. Helps.
It's a warm-up, by the way, guys. Just, don't know if there's a graphic or something. Oh, never mind. We are going to be going in.
Are we?
Oh. Hang on.
That confused me. I thought I was having like a migraine, then I was like, why is that flash?
It can't be. It must still be a warm-up. They're fucking USBs, yeah. Okay, we are. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, even I'm getting confused. This is why the fantastic new graphic is going to help us. Yeah. There we go.
Everyone talked about PGL's production quality, but they didn't have that.
Where's your Comic Sans warm-up? That's the real question.
That's a real deal right there.
I want to know whose like job it was to create Comic Sans. Like, did someone go and say, create the most unattractive font you possibly can that will be used on school projects for generations?
And they nailed it.
They absolutely did.
Alrighty, we are live into this one. So, 20 rounds currently sitting with Team Dignitas, now on their CT side, Na'Vi on their T side with 19. Let's see who's going to kick off this half with a bang.
Now, Pimp does have the AWP, so that bang has been found, but nothing's going to be coming of it just yet. MSL is the one who brings it with the nade. Zeus then is going to be forced to sit and watch as this round does continue to transpire. Pimp relocating, and actually it does look like he may meet a couple of terrorists not too far down the line. There are 2 players now in apps, Edward and Flamey, having a chat before they do start to hunt this frag. Guardian's about to challenge Pimple. He went for it. Did actually tag him up, brought him down to 28, caught him, clipped him through the concrete. And that's going to be sign of things to come potentially for Dignitas. Na'Vi, though, are operating at a loss.
Oh, God, Guardian's going back for more. Pimp going to bait it out, allow Schneider the chance to go for this one. And there we go. Guardian just gets gifted the kill. Pimp, what are you doing? Schneider, though, now has to make up for the most of it. And he will do. At least they get the favorable trade here, 2 for 1. But that was a real topsy-turvy exchange.
The fact that Guardian knew because he'd hit him, so he only had to go for the legs of him for the second shot as well. Quick read from him, and Na'Vi are still a little worse off for it. It's going to come down to Kievi, who hasn't had the best game. Maybe he can redeem himself with this B hold. He's holding the perfect angle, expecting to find one, but no, Flamey swings and does hit it. 2 for him, 1 for C's in response, and now it's a 1v1 for AZ, who is a mile and a half away. C's is going to have plenty of time. Perfect. Just enough time for the bomb to go down for C's, and now it comes down to what AZ can do. Off the back of this one, nice play from AZ. C's unfortunately unable to find cover in the nick of time, and it's going to be an easy defuse then for the 41 fragger. It's a weird number to see on a scoreboard.
Yeah, you just don't really see it like that, do you?
Was it Hyper who hit 50 for the E-Battle game?
Yeah,
like
on
that,
train?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that ridiculous.
That was insane.
My God. But yeah, really big round, to be fair. So 21 to 19, Team Dignitas. Starting to get a little bit of momentum, maybe starting to feel a little more comfortable here. And it does seem as though we'll be getting this round started up. Looking at this, might be a Pimp going back in on the Op, Guardian as well. And we are going to see that three-man play over towards B to kick off with AZ supporting them out there. But normally he does jump off towards the end. But Pimp going on the quick shot across, but doesn't catch anything yet.
Did do damage to Guardian, down to 17. And actually, look at this aggression from Dignitas. They found it on their T side, and looks like they're going to be doing exactly the same on the CT, forcing Na'Vi into a bit of a corner now, down to 2. Or, excuse me, 3. Man, I've been struggling to count today.
That's right, I can barely breathe, so
yeah,
you're doing better as a human overall.
I'll take that, yeah. My breathing is significantly stronger at this point. Now, though, there's a whole lot of nades left. I mean, 3 Molotovs left on the CT side. They can delay Na'Vi to no end, and especially if they do choose to push out through mid, because as soon as that smoke does subside, there's going to be Molotovs and angles held. Pimp this time 2 shots and finds the kill onto Guardian. And now it's just going to be Edward and Flamey desperately trying to find something before Dignitas. All that hard work, it's going to net them that 22nd round. 35 seconds, and Na'Vi look to have changed their minds. I think AZ's kind of lingering between the 2 sites, waiting for the call to be made. You can see him on the map there towards CT spawn, and I think the call is very quickly going to be made as soon as this nade is released. In fact, even before it, AZ's realizing it, that the A site is kind of feeling a little too quiet, and 18 seconds left. Here comes Na'Vi's push.
Yeah, AZ's very close by. He can pop flash through that. And actually, the smoke is awful. Edward just about makes it through, but waiting carefully and patiently was Kiebi. Now just Edward alive. That's AZ to close it down. And Team Dignitas picking up a very well-needed win here, as they were sitting down in 5th, taking the victory over 3rd. It's pretty damn impressive.
Dignitas really did need that. That was a real test for them. That was a little litmus test to see how they can hold up to a top 3 team currently residing in the Pro League. Na'Vi falling on Inferno. You said already that Dignitas Inferno held some good numbers, and they've actually proven that, you know, regardless of other kind of factors, that they do have a good Inferno, and a team that I think there's still a lot of room for improvement with Dignitas. Like, we keep seeing a couple of things like Kiebi, a couple of hits and misses, a couple of misreads on their executes. But other than that, picking up a win against Na'Vi, big start to today's Pro Leagues games.
Yeah, really good beginning for them, and hopefully a good sign of things to come. If the other games are like this, I may be dead by the end of it, quite literally, but I assure you, they'll be fantastic to watch at least. Yeah,
indeed. I mean, a quick run through of what is coming up as well. If you did miss it, we didn't have a time to go through what was going to be coming up later in the show. So for you guys at home, if you haven't checked the schedule, we're going to be seeing a lot of Titan in this one, up against Mouse, no less. We're going to be seeing 2 games of Mouse versus Titan. The second game coming up right after this will be them going up against Mouse on Cash, then up against later it's going to be on Mirage. And in between, sandwiched between the Mouse vs Titan series, we are going to be seeing Titan vs Fnatic playing out on Overpass as well. So a whole load of CS and a whole load of Mouse vs Titan coming up this evening. It's going to be great to see how Titan perform, because Titan actually so far looking pretty good in the standings for the Pro League, and if they could pick up 3 wins today, 2, not too bad either, but they could go horribly wrong for Mouse if it doesn't shape up well for them today. So guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we're back, we're going to start with Mouse versus Titan over on Cash. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters. Delta Times to babysitting gets it! Oh, it's beautiful! Like this, 2 kills could never be so important. He's gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny X, he won a kill, and then he gets the second! Kenny X punches the round!